What I wanted to do now is do a quick overview of the papers that are involved in the meta-analysis. The student asked to do a meta-analysis on the use of acupuncture for relief of chronic neck pain. Sometimes they called it dry needling, sometimes it's deep dry needling. There are different ways that you can refer to things. Patients evaluate the level of pain that they've got using something called the visual analog scale, and I'll go into that in another set of slides. What potential biases are there? So as I said, nothing is ever completely objective. So I have a bias which comes from my liking of the work of a guy called Edzard Ernst. So Edzard was actually a professor at Exeter when I was at Exeter, and he wrote a book called A Scientist in Wonderland about his experiences of going from being an advocate of alternative medicine to being a skeptic. So this makes me in the skeptical school of alternate medicine. Having said that, I have back problems, and my mother-in-law, who happens to be a consultant doctor, she took me to see somebody who is an acupuncture and acupressure expert, a Korean. And so he did some treatment with me on his massage and therapy table, pressing on particular points and doing things. It was probably one of the most excruciatingly painful things of my life, of which all the people who were witnessing it found it highly amusing, though I didn't particularly. But it had an immediate effect, and it improved my mobility considerably. Since that time, I have also had various more conventional therapies, including something called an infiltration, so actually injection into the spine, as well as taking care with exercise and various other things, and I don't have so many problems. So I can't attribute it completely to the acupressure, but it did have some relief value in that particular time. So while I'm a skeptic, I'm not a complete skeptic. I can be persuaded. Now, originally the student gave me 12 papers. 3 of these were removed as they use alternative measures for the outcome, which was not the visual analog score, so you can't use those because every paper has to have the same outcome measurement. I also found an additional 3 papers using VAS while searching for references, doing Google Scholar searches. And I discovered 1 more while actually extracting the data. This is a teaching example, so it's not fully comprehensive. If I'd have spent more time, I probably could have found more. Provisionally, all of the papers look like they're comparable so that I can begin the process of data extraction. But it might be that I find that some of the papers are not comparable or lack some parts that I need to extract to carry out the meta-analysis, and so I can't actually get the data from them. But on a first glimpse, I think all of these should be included. So the list of papers is here. So Cerezo Tellez, Orica, Ernich, there's another Ernich I added later, Ite, Liang, Nabeta, Saahin, Takakura, Vass, White, and the other Ernich paper that I found while looking at the first Ernich paper.